So this is where we are staying in Darjeeling. This is the Windermere Hotel. Interesting little bit at the bottom there, Gorkha land. The Gurkhas have been wanting this part of the world, Darjeeling and surrounding parts, to be a state, like West Bengal or Karnataka or whatever, within the Indian country. But they were given an autonomous region within West Bengal, but they're still fighting for a separate state within India. Nevertheless, this is where we are, the Windermere Hotel, and it's a real quirky place. I'll take you right through it and see what you make of it. Security is very tight. You have big gates there and there are guards on the gate, and then the drive makes its way up there to the hotel. So like all hotels in India, there are lots of people around keeping an eye on things. So when you come up, this is the first view you get of it. It's a sort of very British colonial building. And there's a lot more to it than there is here. The rooms aren't numbered. They all have funny little names, which you can see there. They aren't the only ones, there are others as well. So if you just come along this little terrace here, on the left hand side past this original building, you come to an enclosed garden. You go through this little gate, and you're in this little tranquil garden area. There's little seats and big walls around. Looks almost like a bandstand. All of the furniture in there is obviously, I think it's used on the lawn probably when they're having a barbecue or a function, but it's all just stacked up in there for the moment. Sneaky little alcoves for cosy nights. And another one there. If I come up past the main office and turn left, there's a terrace here which you can smoke on, and an interesting little plaque here. I don't know what it means. Who Jennifer and David Bidwell are, I have no idea, and whether they're still together might be a moot point. And in the corner is a little spiral staircase which leads up to a balcony called Sunny Bank. So here we are at the top. This is Sunny Bank, and it's very high over the town, looks down over the town, a long, long way down there. It's quite hazy now. Early in the morning it's clear, but it very quickly becomes hazy. And you get a very good idea of the size of the place. All these green roofs, tin sheet roofs, all belong to the Windermere Hotel, with all these chimneys. The one in the dining room is lit. This is the dining room directly in front of me under this tin sheet roof. So yeah, it's a bizarre place really. And this little room further down the spiral staircase is called Forget-Me-Not. There's that little rhyme there on the wall. This is the dining room, which is rather nice. Talk about the meals later. And there's a coal fire inside the dining room. Photographs of various things round about. But yes, it's very, very pleasant. So if I go this way, the car park on my right, this is where their main accommodation seems to be, along here. This one is called the Snuggery. It might be better to start. I'll start at the other end of the hotel with the way the sun is shining. So I'll start at the far reaches and make my way back across. In the very far corner of the grounds, overlooking a square, is this little building here which has seating and chairs inside. It's just a lounge, really. A sort of getaway spot if you fancy a little meditation. I'm going to have a look in it. So inside, this is it has this sort of woven rush seating. It has a heater, and it has a Tiffany style lamp. This is one of the main buildings. And it's the building in which I'm staying. There's several rooms in there, all with different names. The one upstairs obviously has quite a large balcony. But it's quite deceiving, this building, because this is in fact the top floor of 4. There's 2 floors down below this as it goes down the hillside. That building over there, or those rooms over there, that's called Betty Tumulty, and that's the downstairs accommodation. This has the name on the other side of it. It's called Observatory House. I assume that's the whole upstairs buildings here. We'll have a look inside later. Just go around the outside to begin with. So here as I come past, they're relaying the carpet here. So this is called Mrs. 20 Men, and that's the upstairs apartment. If I take a left turn here, it takes me down to some other small sort of cottages down some steps. If you have a mobility problem, then these are obviously not suitable, I wouldn't think. And the very first one is called, this one is called Mary Law. And if I continue further down, you get a better idea of what these are like from this one here. And this one is called Hill Charm, and behind me, at the bottom of this building which tumbles down the hillside, actually there's just one floor down here, this very bottom room is called Rhodes Hall, and this giant tree up the side of the building, or up the outside of the building. So those rooms there on that side have a wonderful view over the town. And then down here is somewhere called the DHR Club. I have no idea what it is. If indeed it's open, go and have a look in a moment. And this room is called, well, these apartments, this is Joan Townend, but one of which is called Summer, one of which is called Spring. So I've just come into the DHR Club. This room is called Heinrich Harrer. It's all very colonial. He's got wonderful flowers on the tables. Camellias there, these red ones. And this is views from the other side. That looks like Mount Everest there. And of course it has the fire, which all of these rooms have. And there seems to be a hidden piano for those of you with hidden talent. And then opposite is another room in the DHR Club. This is in the sunshine, so it's much easier to video. And this is called the Lowell Thomas room. Again, camellias, but this has a nice library and books and various silver trophies. I make out what they were for, but many of these hill stations had trophies for the rose growing and lawns and gardens. Bridge championships, and then a variety of books, both modern and old, behind these lovely, in these wooden bookcases, with these Indian animal heads along the top. And again, lovely flower decorations on the tables. And the great and the good photographs around, I don't know who they are. Very British, rows of medals and all that. Not all, but definitely British influence. Tight collar and tie there. Yeah, so this DHR Club, whatever it might be, a nice fireplace. Very, very pleasant. One of several lounges which we'll have a look at. There's people who have signed a visitor's book. I can't make that out. 1926. These are King and Queen of the Belgians. Of course they don't have a queen now, or a king for that matter. And this was reflection from the windows there. This was 1925. And then from some chap who was the CNC in India. He must have been British. It looks as if almost as if it's been written by a quill pen. November 1928. So these were the heydays of the Indian Raj, of course, the 1920s. And we thought it was going to last forever before we were bankrupt at the end of the Second War, and the whole lot was shelved very quickly. And loads of interesting photographs like this one here of various llamas. And these two locomotives lined up alongside one another. At the North British Locomotive Company in Glasgow in May 1925, I think that is. They must have made an amazing sight in Glasgow in those days. And accompanied by Captain Lowell of the Mount Everest Expedition 1924. This is a letterbox. And then if you go through here, this is there are various rooms in here. This is the first one, and there's rooms upstairs. The Princess of Siam, I see there on the right, and this one says the Chogval of Sikkim, whoever that might be. Yeah. Again, more photographs of the great and good. Yeah, the Raj, ladies' nights. It's never ending. That looks like Tenzing, who climbed Mount Everest with Edmund Hillary, but there's no name on it. This is Bear Park's parlour, where we all met at the beginning. Again, a nice big room. When we first arrived, reception was in here again. A nice piano cupboard for those of you who fancy tinkling the ivories, and it had a nice fire when we arrived yesterday. There's another piano there. I'm not sure about the painting there, the modern painting. No. By Martha Johnson. I don't know who she is. Here, come through this room into another room here. This is called Daisy's Music Room, which is on the front of this bungalowy building. Again, another light, airy room. Fireplace, slightly different. Library of books of various vintages. And another, my goodness, that's an old piano with the candles on these highly polished little extensions. There'll be a name for those, I don't know what it is. And then I'm assuming these are photograph albums. My goodness, these look like British Royals. That looks like one of the Georges, I can't remember it. No, it's not. That looks like Edward VIII as a youth. That's George V. He's very strict. George VI, his younger son, was frightened of him. I don't know whether that's Queen Mary or not. Somebody will know. Unfortunately, you get the reflections in the. So unfortunate I had to wear a kilt. Well, it tells you underneath. Well, that's Prince Henry. That one there is Prince Albert. The youth up there is Edward VII and his wife. A bar. Again. Very luxurious, sofas everywhere, and the photographs are fascinating. A very simple roof. And again, a library of books if you want some reading material. I see John Grisham there and John le Carre. And again, lots of photographs and a nice record player, gramophone, or what they call phonographs, so called, weren't they, with a big brass sound funnel on it. So that's about it. The whole place is absolutely amazing. So I'll go back and have a look at my room now. So it's just coming back out of those rooms there onto the balcony with the sun blazing down, which is rather nice.